What's up, cast and crew? Welcome back to Tyler's Theater. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the 2025 live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. So, I think I'm going to give this movie a solid 5.5 out of 10. There were good things in this movie that I did like, but not enough for me to be able to rank it a 10 out of 10 or anything higher than a 5.5. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So to start off this video, the positive thing that I really want to focus on was the visual effects. This movie was stunning to look at. It was very pleasing to the eye. Not long before this movie, we were given a live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch, and if any of you guys have seen my previous video, you know that I was not a huge fan on the CGI in that movie. I thought it looked very strange, very awkward. Stitch, in my opinion, was not as cute as he is in the cartoon, which makes complete sense. I mean, like, how can you make an animated character that's cute live action and also make it cute? Well, How to Train Your Dragon actually succeeds in that. For anyone who has any kind of pet, whether it's a dog or a cat, I'm pretty sure that they absolutely love Toothless. He is a very cute character. His facial expressions, his connection with Hiccup, he is a very lovable dragon. And that was one thing I was kind of worried about in this movie, especially after seeing Lilo and Stitch, was how can they make Toothless as likable as he was in the cartoon? All the dragons, all the effects, the cinematography, the lighting, certain shots really looked good in this movie. If I was Disney, I would be very careful with how good the effects were in this movie from an animation to a live action. In my opinion, I thought this movie looked way better than Lilo and Stitch, and actually way better than some of the live action remakes that Disney has made. So I will say that this movie has succeeded in that aspect. The theme song of How to Train Your Dragon, if you've seen the original cartoon, you can't hear that theme song and just not feel happy. It really brought up the childlike nostalgia that I got from the cartoon. And when you hear the theme song, it just really kind of makes you feel like you can fly. Like, the song is perfect for that particular movie and for a lot of scenes throughout that film. So good effects, good music. Now to jump straight into the acting. I thought the acting in this movie for the most part was decent. I do feel like some of the actors literally just watched the cartoon before their scene and reenacted it completely the same. To be honest, I really didn't buy the chemistry between Astrid and Hiccup. I thought the actress who played Astrid was a little bit stale. Now, before you attack me, I know that Astrid is a hard character. She's always been rough around the edges, but later throughout the movie, she always kind of softened. She found a love for Toothless, and you kind of got to see that lighter side in her. The actress playing Astrid in this movie didn't sell me on that. Like, I feel like I never saw her change from being that hard character to kind of softening towards the end. I realized that the actress who played Astrid was also the same actress who was in the live-action Dumbo, and even in that movie, she was very, like, monotone throughout the movie. In How to Train Your Dragon, she was also very monotone throughout the movie. She just seemed very comfortable in her acting. I definitely would have liked to seen a little bit more emotion in her, taking a little bit more risks. Now, as for Hiccup, I thought the actor who played Hiccup did a very great job. You know, it's very easy to forget that these actors are acting with green walls around them and maybe a green object or a tennis ball to look at. The actors, when they were interacting with the dragons in this movie, it actually did feel very believable. You know, it felt real. I was buying into it. Now, when it comes to acting, I thought the star of this movie was Gerard Butler. I was so glad that he returned to stoic from the animation straight to this live action movie. He puts himself in that character's skin and he really just lives that character. And I know Gerard Butler is a great actor, but coming from the animation, I feel like he easily could have just did what he did in the animation. And yes, his character was the same in this movie, but he was fresh. It was like he was doing this character for the first time. It wasn't stale. He did a fantastic job. So the only critique I am going to give this movie, and the reason why it's about a 5.5 for me out of 10, is because this movie was so close to the original. It was shot frame by frame. As I mentioned, the dialogue was almost very similar. The actors said lines exactly the same as the cartoon, which I believe in the statement, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I also want to see some creativity, right? Like, movies are expensive. We are spending money to go see a movie. We want to have a good time. And the problem is, if you've seen something in the animation and then they do a live action. Do it completely the same way. Yes, the sets look good. Yes, it's kind of cool to see actors in real life. But when you do that, movies can get very, very boring because you have seen it before. One thing as an audience member is we want to see what's next, right? Like, we don't settle. So yes, it was cool to see the dragons in live action. Guys, come on, like, let's be a little more creative. Let's change things up just a little bit, like not too much. Still focus on the core and the heart that the animation had. You know, try some things that are new, try some things that are different. For the actors, don't reenact what the actors in the animation already did. Because if you do that, the scene is either going to be boring, as I mentioned before, or it's going to feel like a cheap imitation. And there were little scenes throughout the movie where I was watching and I was like, okay, like, I've seen this before. Like, I'm not impressed. So that's my only critique that I would give this movie. But DreamWorks, you know, you guys don't do a lot of live action, and I thought for the most part this worked. Now, DreamWorks, please don't get any ideas. Don't do what Disney's doing and just do all your cartoons live action. I really don't want to see a live action Shrek or a Kung Fu Panda. As I've mentioned before, some things are good to just stay in animation, and if you are good at animation, do animation. I understand it's hard to come up with ideas and you need to push media out there, but if it means taking some time, you know, slowing down to really produce content that is really good, that is original, something that audience members really want to see, that's creative, please do it. But that's really all I have to say about this movie. You know, if you want to see it in theaters for how good it kind of looked, I definitely suggest it. But you can also wait for it to come out on streaming or on DVD. But as I mentioned, that is going to be a wrap on this video. If you've seen the movie, what did you guys think? Make sure you go ahead and comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you guys in the next video.